Alright guys, this is Robin Hood's Homestead. It's been a minute, and regrettably I've changed the name of my channel once before to Apocalypse Archer. I'm not sure if y'all caught that, and I kind of switched it back. It might have confused some of y'all. Essentially what the reason behind that was is simply due to the fact that I never intended this channel to be primarily a firearms channel, and it seems like that was what it quickly became. Don't worry, there's still going to be more firearms channel, content out, and as I evolve in my philosophies, we will discuss that more and change things out. But anywho, today's channel, today's topic, today's video is small handguns and their role in shit hit the fan. Just to satisfy the safety Nazis out there. They are clear. As always, going to verify in a safe direction. All that's over there is a tree. I'm going to point directly at it, and it is empty. So this is my, or was my, SIG 365 with TLR 6 flashlight. And this is kind of the old school approach. This was my first everyday carry. And this is just an old school J-frame Smith & Wesson 637 38 special. How you would carry ammo in that, you can carry it in speed strips, which those take forever to kind of load under stress. So I typically carry in these guys. These don't turn. There's a little thing in here that engages with the center of the cylinder on a revolver, and that is how you load them. How you would carry spare ammunition on a 365 is in magazines. These things aren't very large comparatively like a Glock magazine. I'll see if I can pull one out here. Alright, so here's a comparison to a Glock mag. So as you can see, this is a 12 rounder, this is a 15 rounder with the Glock mag on the left, my left, probably be your right. So they're tiny little magazines, and the 12 rounder is slightly closer. And with the Mag Guts conversion kit, you can make it a 14. And yes, I do carry on rotation a Glock 19. Their role, these guys' role in a shit hit the fan environment is kind of boring. It's a concealed carry gun. That's what they kind of are. Either way of how you look at it, these have one specific goal, and these are to be easy to carry while leaving you well armed. And despite what people say about a revolver, you're plenty armed with a 5-shot revolver. Never felt undergunned when I ran one of these. Never felt undergunned when I carried a 380. It's all about philosophy and what you're going to, what your philosophy for self-defense is. With me, I've always kind of held the opinion that if you shoot somebody in self-defense and they run away, you still win. It's not like the guy's gonna like come back to figure out what's next, what's in your other pocket or whatever. You still win. He ran off. It did its job. It stopped the bad guy from hurting you further if he runs away. And that's that if he runs away and he is not intent on hurting you part is what kind of guided my decision to buy this, as well as the idea of multiple attackers. That's something that we witnessed here close by to my area not too long ago, was a multiple attacker involved lethal force encounter. And that's what kind of guided this, was that if there was multiple attackers, I would want to have a little bit more capacity while also kind of staying in the same size range. And that's really what the 365 does for me. I mean, it's the way the grip is, the way my hand naturally lays on it. It's very similar in everything except sight radius. And the sight radius is slightly shorter with the 38 special. As you can see, I'm kind of pointing these directly at myself, but you've seen them both cleared, so if you can just shut up with the safety comments. But you can see the sight radius is a lot different. It's a lot shorter. Again, clear and clear. And Okay, so they are clear. So again, these are very common pistols. They will do their job. That job is to get you home. The philosophy around a J-frame is kind of just, you're more focused around one guy. I carry this guy a lot of the times when I'm out in the woods, or if I'm going to go on like a nature hike or something, just because I can load it with snake shot and it's going to just rotate into the next shot when it doesn't cycle, because they don't most of the time cycle in semi-automatic handguns. Occasionally they will, depending on what you run. But again, their use as a concealed carry piece. If the world's ending, you know, you're stuck in a Walmart, you don't want to be carrying around some, you know, like Desert Eagle or some crap on a drop leg holster. You kind of want concealment. You want it to be a surprise for the bad guy. I'll just say it like it's a Christmas present, you know, with that time of year. It's a Christmas present for the bad guy. You know, here, best $3 ever spent. But they are they're good guns, but their role as a shit hit the fan firearm is more along the lines of a conceal. If you're gonna bug out with these will probably serve more as a kit gun or a backup gun. This one would serve more for me because some of our bug out plan involves crossing some wilderness and I think a railroad. So if there's snakes along the way, I'll have some snake shot loaded in this, but it will be a very select firearm. This is actually one of my wife's carry guns now. She rotates into these two. I personally carry a Glock 19 now because of a video coming up. I'll explain that further about 2 caliber simplicity and why I think it's important for a shit hit the fan prepper, homesteader, or what have you, and the down to earth kind of role of a 9mm in that kind of regard as a homestead cartridge, because it's a powerful little pill for most things around here where I live. You know, biggest thing I might deal with is a coyote, and hopefully I'll get the footage back on that soon. But anyway, enough rambling. That's the video. Yeah, these are kind of just concealed carry pieces. I think that with the SIG pistols, especially with the new macro mags coming out, that if you were to buy this, you'd be very well armed. You might not even need a full-size handgun, but it's nice to have one for surface area. I mean, that's the gun compared to my hand, if you can see that. I mean, that takes up pretty much all of it. It's hard for me to kind of manipulate this gun. It's hard for me to run this gun without kind of inducing malfunctions like that, where the palm gets stuck on the magazine, and when it tries to drop, it gets stopped by the extra, you know, shit in the way that I call my hand. So there's that. This guy, there really is no reloading this thing sexy. You just kind of pop the cylinder, drop it out, grab your mag, and again you just push it in, push it as hard as you can. It's going to drop the mags loose. Ain't going to do it because I don't feel like redoing it later, refixing this. So how I carry this guy is in a clip and carry Amazon $30-some holster. How I carry this guy is in a holster. I think Echo is the name of this one, or Profile, one of the two. Very cheap, or this one wasn't very cheap because I had to buy one that was left-handed and accommodated the light, but it carries very well. These are actually, and the guys out there who say revolvers carry better, these are the same size holster, despite one being a light bearing holster and one not being a light bearing holster. And you do want that retention with a revolver. Guys who carry leather holsters outside the waistband with no thumb strap, that's just, no, don't do that. You're going to end up getting your gun taken in a clinch situation, which is where this gun shines, is in the clinch. You want this gun to be, you know, secure and in a good location where you can make muzzle contact and get the guy off you if you need to. There's that. Anyway, that's the video for today, man, and guys and gals and whatever your pronouns are. Y'all have a good one. It's been a kind of weird year. My next video will probably be up soon. It's going to be about 2 caliber simplicity. As always, I have stuff that's ever evolving around the homestead, stuff that's being changed, stuff that I'm buying, stuff that I'm talking about. You know, philosophy's changing. I'm getting more and more in firearms training, so there's that, which is kind of guiding my mindset a little bit as well, because you don't realize how different the world actually is. That is firearms training, I mean. And then you kind of need more than a J-frame revolver to go shoot a course. Unless it's a firearms course that's specifically for J-frames. Anywho, that's it for today, guys. As always, you know, the skills you learn today will be what keep you alive tomorrow. Let God lead your life, and when in doubt, figure it out.